loves, it's Dr. Simone Ellis, and I know it can be very difficult to stay motivated during these unmotivating times. And that is what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to provide a couple of tips to help you stay motivated in unmotivating times. So let's check it out. So I love a good quote, and today's quote is, "The lack of motivation is usually a result of lack of clarity." And we really need to talk about, if we do not have a roadmap, a lot of times our motivation is reflective of that. When I'm traveling or when we're in the car, of course, we have GPS at our fingertips. And as you know, when you are on the road, you pull out your phone if you do not know the direction where you are going, and the GPS system is usually telling us how to get from point A to point B. And that is really how our goal should be. We should have an idea of where we want to go and then putting a plan in play to get there. And when we are not motivated, when we're feeling our motivation is kind of down, usually it's because we are not very clear on where we're trying to go. So if you haven't taken a moment, a time to kind of sit down and either niche down in your business or actually really think about where your trajectory is, also, you have to be very clear on making sure that other influences and the outside world are not impacting where your destination is. Social media, especially right now, can be very overwhelming, and you can try to define yourself based off of other people and what they're doing. But the reality is that if you don't know exactly where you want to be, if you don't have a clear-cut goal and expectation on who you are, you will allow a lot of background noise, a lot of influences to come into your life that may not be a true representation of your authentic self. In order to be great, you cannot be like others. In order to be great, you've got to see the potential in yourself before anyone else does, and then you have to act on that potential. And just like that GPS system that we have in our phone or in our cars, the beautiful thing is that if you get off track, if you lose motivation, you can easily get it back. We can course correct, we can change it around and go into the right direction. It's up to you to decide if that is what you want to do. And I hope to just be a guide to help you get there. So another way to stay motivated during these unmotivating times is you have to remember that your purpose is bigger than this moment. We cannot get caught up in our feelings of how we feel today, because it's not a reflection of how we possibly will feel tomorrow. So feelings are just like the weather. It can be hot one moment, cold one moment. They are just very fickle. And so a lot of times what we have to remember is just because we feel down today does not mean that we're going to feel down tomorrow. And I don't want one moment in your life to predict your whole entire future. I mean, for me, it would be like in school. If I failed a test, that one test wasn't going to determine if I was going to become a doctor or not, right? And so that one test, if I did allow it to change my whole entire trajectory, who knows where I would be. So I'm encouraging you that that one moment that may not be the best moment in your life, and how you feel about that moment at that period of time, does not have to dictate your trajectory. There are so many amazing individuals out here who have really struggled, who have persevered time and time again, and they will tell you that their struggles were not the only thing that was going to make them a better person, that their struggles helped them to become better people. And those greats that we see before us today, Steve Jobs, Serena Williams, Michael Jordan, these people who have been great, inspiring, motivating individuals in our society, have all persevered through trials and tribulations. And it wasn't that they won every single game. It wasn't that they understood every science project and got an A on it. It wasn't that their inventions did not fail. It is that they continued to understand that this current moment right now was only a moment. And so keeping yourself motivated, understanding that this moment is not necessarily the rest of your life. It is just that, a moment. So don't let temporary feelings distract you from long-term goals. Our purpose in this life, in this world, is bigger than one moment. It is the sum of everything collectively together to make extraordinary outcomes. And with feelings, if we let our negative feelings get the best of us, we would be in a world of trouble. For me, like, I love cheeseburgers, and if every time I had a bad day, I felt like I needed to eat a cheeseburger, cheeseburger, I'd be as big as a house. The reality is that I recognize that just because I feel bad right now doesn't mean that I'm going to always feel bad. And my choices can't reflect of a bad feeling. The better option, the better idea to do that is that when I'm in that negative space, to turn on a positive podcast or watch a positive YouTube video like this one to encourage you to stay pumped and motivated. And remembering that that moment in time is just a moment, and I need to make sure I'm supporting and surrounding myself with positive energy, positive affirmations that's going to keep myself pumped up and ready to go. Whether it's a YouTube channel or a podcast or listening to some motivational music, there are so many different things that we can do to get ourselves out of a rut. And if you're struggling with this and you don't know where to go, I've included a couple of amazing ones in our description to help you stay pumped up and motivated and encouraged. Also, when you lack motivation in unmotivated times, another thing that you can think about is your purpose is bigger than you. We are so interconnected as people that we don't often realize how our motivation impacts others. I love doing this where I just start to smile around people and I get a chance to see their reaction of them smiling as well. Like, if you haven't tried this, just walk down the aisle and just start smiling at an individual. That person smiling back at you naturally is a positive exchange of energy. And the reality is that because we are so connected as a society, our positive energy, our positive motivation helps to motivate others. The great legend Kobe Bryant once said, "The most important thing is to try to inspire people so that they can be great in whatever they want to do." If you lack motivation, you cannot inspire. There are people that look up to you that need you to show up for you. Motivation is really centered around the why you do things. For me, it could be my family members showing up every day because I want to make sure that they're proud. That motivates me to get up out of my bed and do the best I can. It could be for you, your family, your friends. It could be simple as just doing it for yourself. Your why has to be recognized in order to stay motivated. Picture that loved one, that friend, that employee, that spouse that benefits from you showing up intentionally every single day. How would you change the course of their life just by changing yours? The reality is that every day how you show up really matters. How you act towards others really matters. And how you encourage others matters too. So changing how you think and making it less about yourself and making it more about others is so impactful. And since COVID, I feel like people have been more self-centered, more focused on how I feel, what I do, how things hurt me. But the reality is that if we can remember that we should care about others just as much as we care about ourselves, I think the world will be in a much better place. Becoming self-serving is really isolating over time. And I believe the purpose that we're connected to people is because we're supposed to help each other enhance each other's lives. Keeping yourself motivated in unmotivating times is also helped by remembering your purpose is defined by your routines. Routines keep us motivated. If you have no consistency in your routines, especially in the area that you love, it's really easy to lose motivation. There was a period in my life where I didn't have strong routines, and so I felt like I just woke up, went to work, came home, went to bed, and did it all over again. And what I realized is that I felt like my life was just lived on autopilot. I would just kind of go with the flow, go through my day and come back home, but my purpose wasn't really being fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was connecting to anything, and then other areas of my life started to waver. The moment I started implementing certain routines, such as waking up early to get to the gym in the morning, meditating, reading a book for 10 minutes, I started to see huge changes in my life, and I realized it was because I was being consistent with my routines that was helping to add purpose. Even right now, me creating YouTube videos is a routine that I have, and the reason why I do that is because I believe that my purpose is to help individuals become the best version of themselves. So if I don't put in play a routine, as you know, action generates motivation. So by me doing this, I'm completely motivated to continue to inspire and encourage. So, if you do not have routines, start thinking about ways to incorporate routines into your life. And it can be as simple as just adding certain trigger points to help you remember your routines. For me, it's when I get in the car, I don't listen to music. I will put on a podcast or a YouTube because I believe that my commute will allow me the opportunity to learn something different. And this routine was inspired by me reading and finding out that most people will spend a third of their lives watching TV or screens. And I thought, like, oh my God, like how much of a difference I could do in my life or in the world if I was not addicted to TV, if I was actually utilizing that time to become a better version of Simone, to be helpful, to help others. And so those are some of my routines that I've put in play to help me be inspired. And I would love to hear in the comments section some of your routines that keep you up and motivated. All right, so I leave you with this last part of my message. In life, if we are blessed to live a long time, unfortunately, we are going to see throughout our life positive and negative times. We're going to see unmotivating times. And it's truly up to us to remember that our purpose is bigger than this moment, that our purpose is bigger than ourselves, and that our routines help to continue to inspire and motivate our purpose. Guys, I really want you to live purposefully. I want you to laugh abundantly, and I want you to love intentionally. This is Dr. Ellis. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. I hope you leave inspired today and share this with some of your friends and family. They will definitely appreciate you being motivating in unmotivating times.